to do after I've applied my primer, I used Urban Decay's Primer Potion, is I'm going to take the Urban Decay Deluxe palette, it looks like this, the purple one, and I'm going to be taking the colour Honey, just this gold here. I'm going to take that on a Pro Makeup brush number 7, and I'm going to pack a lot of that onto my brush, quite a lot, and I'm going to be placing that, fluff flying about all over the place, I'm going to be placing that in my inner corner. Just there. Not going too far over. Keeping it in my inner corner and then building it up gradually. You don't want too much colour up above your crease, so you just want to keep it very much underneath your crease and in your inner corner. I'm just going to tap that on. Just like that. I am then going to take a different brush because I'm using a darker colour. I'm going to take a Joe Glamour shader brush, and I'm going to be taking the colour from Barry M. It's number 22. It is just a really true royal blue. It's very pretty. I'm going to take that on my brush. You want to pick up quite a lot of this because it doesn't have a huge amount of stain power, so you want to pick up quite a lot. Tap it off so you don't get any fallout. And we're going to be putting that royal blue colour next to the honey and overlapping it. So you want to kind of get to just above where you put the honey and overlap with the blue. Just like that, so you've gone over the top of the honey colour. Pick up some more blue. Tap it off. Do the same thing. I'm going to build up the intensity of this blue. And sort of hit just above the crease with it as well. See? Just like that. Come back and build upon that in a minute. I'm now going to be taking a very stiff pencil brush. This one is by Kim. It's a 141, very, very stiff. And I'm going to be taking the same palette that I just used for the honey. I'm going to be taking 0, just the black in the middle. Taking quite a bit of that. Tapping it off so we don't get too much fallout. And I'm going to be placing that just next to that blue. Just like that. And winging it out. Then you want to take the black, take what's left on your brush, and you want to build that over the top of the blue, just above where you put that into your crease. Just very, very lightly. Just like that. So it kind of hits just where you put the blue. And then I'm going to work on this little very sharp pointed area that we've got on the other eye. Okay, so I've kind of started the wing just there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Pro Makeup brush. This is a very kind of, it's like a paintbrush pretty much. It's a small paintbrush. I'm going to dip it just once into the 0 eyeshadow that we just used. And then I'm going to run that just along that outer portion to meet up with the wing so that you get that really sharp defined edge that you want, because you're not going to get it any other way. So to use a flat brush like this is really going to help that. Now, if you look at the picture, you'll be able to see that there is a kind of like a purple gradation above the blue and the black. It's really, really pretty. So that's what I'm going to be working on now. I'm going to take Ransom from Urban Decay from the same purple palette. I'm going to take a slightly more sparse pencil brush and dip a little bit of that into the Ransom, tap it off. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to layer over the top of the black, so we've got from this line up to the little arch, we're going to layer this Ransom very, very lightly over the top. Dust that on. Start buffing it in. And layer it right the way around. Then I am going to be taking a colour by Bridal Eyes. It's a very, very beautiful kind of pinky violet. This one is called Violent, and I'm going to take a little bit of that on the same pencil brush, tap that off. I'm going to lay that over the top, just to make it a little bit more pearlescent. fluffy blending brush for this step because we want to blend this out so that we get it to looking like this. I'm going to take a J Glamour pointed blending brush, and I am just going to start blending very carefully. You don't want to blend these colours together because you'll get a muddy look that you won't be able to fix. So you just want to take the point and just run that back and forth, just blending very carefully. And this will take some time, but you will get there, trust me, but it will take some time, so don't rush it. Now what you want to do, you've got to kind of blend it out, is you want to take the same blending brush that we were just using, and it looks like there is a white on her brow, like kind of a matte white. Now, I'm not going to use a white, I'm going to use kind of like a matte, kind of stormy grey colour, because it's going to pick up, the one I'm going to use is going to pick up the purple and the blue in the eyeshadow that we've got on our lid. So I'm going to be using Storm from Spell Cosmetics. And it's a beautiful grey. It has a hint of lilac in it and a hint of blue. It's beautiful, but it is matte. So I'm going to take a small amount of that. You do not need too much of a colour like this, because if you put too much on, not a lot you can do about it. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and I'm going to hit the highest point first. A little bit more. Like that. I'm going to use that to blend this harsh line out that we've got on the top here. And then if you feel you've lost any purple, you can go back in with the small smudger brush that we used. Take a little bit more of the Violent by Glamour Eyes and just go over the top. Just here, just to add a little bit of that purple back in case you've lost any. Because you really want it to be noticeable, but you don't want it to be like a straight line, obviously. Just kind of blend that in, buff it up. Just like that. Now for underneath the lower lash line, I am just going to be using this brush here, it's by J Glamour, and I'm going to be using the Royal Blue just under here in the middle of my eye. I'm going to be using Zero, just a tiny little bit. I'm going to keep this very close to my lash line, and I'm going to be using Honey just in the inner corner. I'm going to add some black liner to my waterline. I'm going to tight line. I'm going to also use, put it back, Me 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 Eye Sweep on my top lash line to have something to put the false lashes on, and I'll be back to show you the rest of the look. Okay guys, so that's the finished eye.